Okay, so the final column is the sulfate ions that were formed between the reaction between sulfuric acid and a range of bases. So the first salt that was formed was sodium sulfate. And so the first thing we need to do is understand more about the sulfate ion. So the sulfate ion formula is SO4 2 minus. You just need to learn this. You need to learn that a sulfate has the formula SO4 and that this whole unit, 1 sulfur and 4 oxygens stuck together, has an overall charge of -2. You need to learn it. So sodium, group 1, +1. You know, a sulfate ion is SO4 with an overall charge of -2. I've only got 1 positive here and 2 negatives, so to balance the charges, I need 2 sodium atoms in my compound, which gives me the formula Na2, small 2 tells me I've got 2 of those, SO4. And when you've only got 1 sulfate group, you don't need to put a bracket around it. Just leave it like that, SO4. Right, magnesium sulfate. Magnesium, group 2, we know it's got a 2+ charge. Sulfate ion, SO4, 2-. The charge is balanced, so I only need 1 of each of these. Magnesium sulfate. Potassium sulfate. Here I've got potassium formula. Potassium ion is K+, group 1, and it has a charge of +1. Sulfate SO4, 2-. I've got 2 negative charges here, 1 negative charge here, so I need 2 of those to balance my charges. So I'm going to have potassium, 2 of them, sulfate. Copper sulfate. We know from previous example that this is a 2+ ion. Here we've got our sulfate ion, which is a 2- ion. 2+, 2-. Our charge is balanced, so I only need 1 of each of these ions. Copper sulfate, CuSO4. Ammonium sulfate. Ammonium, NH4+, sulfate, SO4, 2-. I've got 1 positive charge here, 2 negative charges here, so I need 2 of these to balance out that. So I have NH4, but I need 2 of them. Now, I need to put a 2, but I need to put a bracket around the whole thing because I need 2 of this entire unit. SO4.